Hey, 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 it is an unstoppable day. Welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. I'm your host, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge, and we thank you for joining us for these special episodes of the Unstoppable Story Show. Yes, we are celebrating all throughout the month of November, the 21 days of gratitude, you guys. So what are you grateful for at this time? Yes, absolutely. For the next 21 days, we are talking to special guests, and I'm giving you some of my insights on what I am grateful about. Because, they say if you do anything for 21 days, that becomes a habit. And hopefully, if you're watching us, whether you're watching us live or whether you're watching us replay, you'll take a minute out of your time to recognize that there are things that you are grateful for. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll hear somebody else in our audience talk about what they're grateful for and say, hmm, I'm grateful for that too. And then after 21 days, it won't just be something that you think about every now and then, it will become a habit. And just imagine if each and every one of us around the world would decide to turn gratitude into habits and make it an attitude of gratitude. How different would our world be? Well, that's the mission here at the Unstoppable Story Show, to have an attitude of gratitude and share that gratitude across the world. Now, I said earlier that we have guests that come on the show, and tonight is no different. I'm so glad to have a new member to the Unstoppable Story Show family coming on. She's also a new member to the group, our BTBY family, Becoming the Better You. I'm the COO of that company, and we help people become the better version of themselves each and every day. Had an opportunity to meet this young lady just literally a couple of months ago here in Fort Lauderdale, and we forged a kind of bond that we're continuing to expand. And she's working on being a better communicator and a better speaker, and we're helping her get on stages not only here but across the country, and eventually, if she sticks and stays, across the world. Because she has the tea. She's got that information that's going to help you get to the next level of your greatness in your business. She's going to tell you some stories about things that she encountered, things that she had to go through in order to grow through to become who she is today. None other than Millionaire T, we like to call her. But for everybody else, let's welcome to the Unstoppable Story Show, my friend Tiffany Harris. Hey, Tiffany.
Hey everybody, hello Terrence.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Well, we are so glad that you took some time out of your millionaire tea life to come share a little bit of what you're grateful for here on the Unstoppable Story Show. Now, Tiffany, I could read your bio and I could talk about everything that you sent me, but I believe nobody can talk about themselves better than the person themselves. So why don't you take about 30 minutes, 30 seconds, that is, no, not the whole
About to say
show.
30 minutes.
I know you could, but no, let's just 30 seconds. Give me just a little bit of who Millionaire T is.
Well, my name is Tiffany Harris, aka Millionaire T, like my man Terrence said. I am a wife, I'm a mother, I am a business owner and entrepreneur. I own multiple businesses and I love and have a joy in my heart to help other entrepreneurs run, scale, run and scale their businesses to higher heights. So I'm excited to be here today with everybody, and I hope that I can give you guys some inspiration and hopefully some advice on things to do better in your business, whether you work for yourself or for someone else.
Wow. So how long have you been an entrepreneur now?
Well, officially, it's only been maybe about the last 10 to 12 years, but I legit been an entrepreneur my whole life probably. I started at entrepreneurial things when I was a young child, maybe 6 or 7. My mom would take me to go shovel people's snow in their sidewalks to teach me how to make money. So it just stuck.
Okay. So you've always had that entrepreneurial spirit in running in your veins, huh?
Yep, deep down.
Okay. And so now what's some of the main things you do now with your millionaire tea empire?
Wow. So I own a real estate company where I have multiple rentals that I rent out to people. I have a custom creations, custom apparel business where I make custom apparel. I also have my own product line of custom apparel products for people who make custom apparel. And then I have the startup circle, which is my newest little baby. And that is where I get to show my real joy for what I love in business and entrepreneurship with other businesses and entrepreneurs, where I teach and help them start, run, and scale their businesses to higher heights.
I love it. Well, with all those things you're doing in business, I'm sure you've got a lot of things to be grateful for. But we only have time to talk about a couple of things. So the question that I ask everybody during the 21 days of gratitude here on the Unstoppable Story Show is, what am I grateful for today? So, Tiffany, we talked a little bit off the air, and you said one thing that you're grateful for is that you are grateful for my good health. Tell us about that. Why are you grateful for health today?
Well, I've always had health issues my whole entire life. I had epilepsy since I was about six, and it just kept going, different ailments. I had asthma. I say had because I don't claim any of these things anymore. I haven't had any
All
issues, so I
right.
don't have them. Um, God has restored my health. But I will say that the biggest part that I'm grateful for is when it comes to my health, I almost lost my life. Not once, not twice, but three times. So at 32, I had a stroke when I was a teacher in the teacher's lounge. That was hard. And then I want to say 38, I had 39. I had two heart attacks back to back, and it all stemmed from stress from my business. So that's the reason why I am so passionate about the startup circle, because I don't want anyone to come near death, come near a heart attack, come close to a stroke, if especially if stress is the leading factor for that. If we can prevent it, then let's work towards preventing that, because heart disease is the number one killer in America, and we're aiding and abetting in that by allowing ourselves to be stressed out over things that we cannot control.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. But let's try to unpack that a little bit more for a second. Because you said you've been an entrepreneur practically all your life, but really the last 10 to 12 years. And anyone who knows about entrepreneurship, it ain't for the weak at heart, pun intended. So were you under stress before you became an entrepreneur, or did you become a victim of stress while on your entrepreneurial journey?
So I would have to answer that question as truthfully as I can by saying, if I was under stress before I became an entrepreneur, I definitely didn't realize it. But I
No.
definitely realized it once I became an entrepreneur. Like once I was in the business and knee deep in, I realized, this this is not looking good, and it just didn't get better. And I just kept showing up and kept trying to push something that wouldn't move until God said, it's time for you to sit down because you are just not listening to me. And that's what happened.
Yeah, that right there. God was talking to you throughout that. And I'm an entrepreneur too. I'm a coach, I'm an author, I'm a speaker. I wear a number of different hats. And I'm a little bit older than you. Well, never mind about that. But I have recognized over the course of this entrepreneurship journey that it can be very stressful. There's a lot of people who have never tried entrepreneurship that thinks, man, if I could just be an entrepreneur, I'd have it made in the shade. I'm gonna make all this money. I'm gonna live this lifestyle, but they don't recognize that it's not a 9 to 5. Sometimes it's a 9 to 9. Sometimes it's a 3 to 3. Sometimes it's a three today until 3 days from now to be in this entrepreneurial journey. And you tell me if you experience the same thing, but I would experience times where days would go by and I hadn't ate because I was working on my business. Hours would go by without sleep because I was working on my business. I was eating and working on my business and trying to sleep all at the same time. So I was grabbing a bite to eat, typing on the computer, putting my head down, and it was like a vicious cycle. And that's where stress can sink in.
Yeah.
And that's where
I definitely
your
had that.
health. Yeah, definitely.
I definitely had that. All of what you said happened to me. I mean, I started my business in my living room and I scaled it to multiple millions of dollars still in my living room. I had
Wow.
employees in my living room, and my living room was not that big. So you have heat presses, you have all types of stuff going on, printers, and just everything going on in this living room, packaging and packing and shipping and inventory. It was just a chaotic mess. And I thought, oh, I'll just go get a warehouse and then it will have more space and that will give us, bigger space and to be able to move around from each other. Never did I think, oh, this is going to be overhead. I'm going to have, like, this is going to cost me more stress because entrepreneurs, some days we get cut a check and some days we do not. Like, it's kind
Yeah.
of like I'm enjoying mounds. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's kind of that way with entrepreneurs. With someone that has a 9 to 5, they're kind of guaranteed their money. We we just are not. I mean, you could owe an invoice to me and not pay it, but I could have been looking forward to your invoice, and then you didn't
Yeah.
pay it.
And then
So
that led to stress, right?
that leads to stress because I was going to use your invoice to pay my car note, let's say. And now stress has taken over, and I may get unprofessional with you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, because I may call you and say, hey, where's my money? It's my money and I want it now, type thing. So,
Yeah. And I get it. And you know what? I know somebody's going to spend more time with you after the show to talk about how you dealt with the stress, but listen briefly, you learned how to be grateful for your good health. So after you went through those challenges, what did you change in your entrepreneurship journey so that you could focus on your health?
well, uh,
Or what are
so,
you still changing?
so what I initially changed was my mindset because what I had to realize was that everything that I'm encountering is because of what I'm thinking or how I'm making myself feel or what I'm making myself believe. It's really true when you say I can't or I'm not sure if I can. If you say any of those type of things, then your mind and your body starts to believe that I'm not sure if I can or I don't, things like that. So I have been making sure that when I spit that out my mouth, I immediately pick it back up and say, wait a minute, let me rephrase. And the biggest thing that I had to change was the word broke. I don't know if it's where I came from or how I was raised or where I grew up at, but broke was something that everyone said, girl, I don't have it, I'm broke. Or you, mom, can I have $1? I ain't got no money, I'm broke. So you
Mhm.
always, I guess you just thought to say that or you think to say that. So I say that. I used to say that a lot. Like, I'm broke, even if I wasn't, because I just didn't want to give it to you or I didn't want to say no. So I would say, like, I'm broke. And that generates with most people. But after a while, I started to realize that I would feel stressed because now I feel like I'm lying and I don't want to
Yeah.
lie. So what I started to realize is I don't have to give this to you. I could literally just say no. So I learned no. And it sounds crazy, like, what you mean she learned no? No, I learned the word no. I
Yeah.
learned and put it into use, like no. And I say it a lot now. I say it way more than I think in my previous 40 years of my life. I've said no in the last year more than I've said no in my previous 40 years of life of living. And that to me was like, oh. okay, I think I now finally figured out how to keep good health.
Absolutely. And sometimes we have to say no to others, other people, other things, other
Hmm.
places, so that we can say yes to ourselves. And that's important, especially if you want to continue to be on the road to good health and still be on this entrepreneurial journey. Because here's the one thing, here's the difference about working a job and being an entrepreneur. If your health goes bad, guess what? Somebody else is going to come do that job. But if your health goes bad in your entrepreneurial business, then so does the business if you're not there. So it is definitely important to focus on your health, have those boundaries, set those standards so that you set that balance in your life. So that while you're making the millions, you can still enjoy the tea. How about that?
Correct.
I love it. And thank you for sharing that. And on the other side of the break, Tiffany, we're going to come back and talk more a little bit about gratitude. We're hanging out here with Tiffany Harris, AKA Millionaire T, on the Unstoppable Story Show, the 21 Days of Gratitude. Now, hey, everybody, the show is sponsored by BTBY, Becoming the Better You, an affiliate of the Be Better Now Inc. BTBY provides speakers with training, coaching, and media representation. If you want to get more information and be a part of this powerful organization, you know what to do. It's right there in the link. Go on down to comechangeyourlife.com. Comechangeyourlife.com. And you too can be just like Tiffany. You can be a millionaire, being able to spill the tea and be the best speaker that you can be. We're going to come back after a commercial talking a little bit about what Tiffany is a part of, one of our groups called BTBS, Becoming the Best Speaker. You're watching the Unstoppable Story Show, 21 Days of Gratitude. Hey, 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 it is an unstoppable day. Preachers preach, teachers teach, and speakers speak. And whether I am speaking from my office doing videos like this virtually, or whether I am speaking at resorts doing retreats, whether I am speaking at family events, or whether I am speaking in front of large audiences. Speakers speak, and that's what we do. But depending on those situations, you may not have the confidence, you may not have the skills, or you may not have those necessary tools to be able to speak effectively in each one of those different arenas. Well, we've got you covered here at the Becoming the Best Speaker Academy. Yes, Becoming the Best Speaker Academy. We have an 8-week speaker course where we will help you get the tools, the tips, and the strategies to not only become a better speaker, but to learn the business of speaking so that you can be effective in all those different arenas that I just told you about. I'm blessed to be able to be a speaker. I'm blessed to be able to be an MC, but I didn't learn those skills overnight. I had to get the training. I had to get the strategies. I had to get the tools to make me a more effective speaker. And we want to share those tools with you as well. So if you are a new speaker, if you are a new author, or if you're a new entrepreneur and you're looking to add speakers into your toolkit to make you a more effective entrepreneur, speaker, or author, then we invite you to come on over to www.btbspeakers.com www.btbspeakers.com and sign up for our next course, which is starting soon. Who knows, in 8 weeks, you could become the best speaker that you were created to be. Absolutely. Go on over to btbspeaker.com and you can sign up for our upcoming classes at the beginning of 2025. Don't meet me there, beat me there. BTB Speaker, where you can become the best speaker you can be. Welcome back to the Unstoppable Stories Show, the 21 Days of Gratitude. Hanging out with my girl, Tiffany Harris, aka Millionaire T. What's going on, Tiffany?
Nothing much.
Hey,
Just living.
living, chilling, living, chilling. I love it. I love it. Well, you know what? You definitely look like you are in an attitude of gratitude. I mean, I can see it on your smile. The only thing brighter than your smile is the outfit that you have on today. So I'm so glad to see you in that space. And, it looks like very much what you said you're grateful for, secondly, which is for peace of mind. Tell me why having peace of mind is so important to you.
Well, for starters, I want it to be peace of mind. And the reason why I gave that is because when I went through all of my health issues, I didn't give myself a peace of mind. I only cared about everyone else. I needed to be there to make sure that everyone else was good. And if they were not good, I needed to make sure that I helped them in some way, shape, or form. I don't know why I was like that. I don't know what made me feel like I needed to do that. It also caused me to have more stress on me and led me to feel like I was killing myself. So I stopped. When I stopped, I had to go through a process. And for me, for those who know me, know that it has to be an extreme process for me to stop something. So I cut off social media. I felt like social media was my issue. So I got rid of that. Social media was what was making me depressed, is what I felt. So I got rid of it, not realizing that what was making me depressed was the fact that I had it in my mind, these negative thoughts that I failed. I failed myself. I failed my business. I failed my family. I just failed. And I didn't want that. So I changed my mindset. I made myself believe that I was a millionaire because I was. And I made myself believe that I deserved to be a millionaire because I did. And I worked really hard to be this person. But even though I had all this money, I was just giving it away because I didn't feel like I deserved it. I didn't feel like I had did anything to actually deserve it. I felt like I was lucky, like I didn't work for it. So I guess I gave it away. And then from giving it away, I realized, huh, most of the people that I helped, they could care less about me because when I was sick, no one came. Not those people, So I had to start thinking about life and more about me. And once I started to do that, the clouds, the sky, like everything just started to open up because it was just, oh, we get to care about me. Oh, well, let's do this. 40 years. I lived on this earth for 41 years. I never had a pair of Levi jeans because I thought they were too expensive. So I went and I got my first pair of Levi jeans in Portugal with a girl that I met at a networking event. And I didn't even know her. We just both wanted to go to Portugal, so we went. And that was probably one of the best trips ever in my life. I didn't have to pay for anybody. She could hold her own weight. We didn't have to share a room. Like it was just, oh my gosh, I feel like I got money. Like this is how I felt just being with her. And when I opened my mouth and said it to her, she says, you should. And you should go in every place you walk into with your head high and your shoulders back, and you let them know that you're a millionaire, Tiffany. And I said, yep, Millionaire T. And she said, that's right. That's your name. That's what you tell everybody from here on out. And I sat on that for months. That name didn't come back out until I met you.
Wow.
So
They
yeah.
say wherever you are in life, your mind got there first.
Mhm.
Now, if you're someplace negative, your mind got there first. If you're someplace stressful, your mind got there first. And if you're somewhere peaceful, and exciting and exuberant and exhilarating, your mind got there first. And so when you think about peace of mind, you have to have that intention. The first, that you want to put your mind at peace, because you could be grateful for the stress of your mind and still be in a mess of stress. But isn't it a wonderful feeling to know that your mind is at peace? And then you have the outer expression of that peace in your smile, in your cheeks, in your walk. You're not shrugged down, you're held up high. You see all the difference. It all
Yeah.
starts in the mind. And I love how you decided in your mind to go to Portugal, and you decided in your mind to buy those jeans, and you decided ultimately in your mind that you were going to have peace after 41 years. And
Yeah.
how did that feel?
It feels amazing. I was telling somebody earlier today, man, if I didn't have peace, if I've never experienced this in my life, I would feel gypped. Like, I feel like peace, if I could never have nothing else in life but peace and travel, I would just be fine. I really would. I would be totally fine. I don't need no food. I like whatever. If we can live without food and water and whatever, just peace. Put my kids there as long as they peaceful, and my husband as long as he's peaceful, and then just leave me. You can leave me on a little island by myself. I'm gonna make do with what I have, and that way I wouldn't have to deal with anybody. And I feel like a lot of my stress comes from dealing with others, trying to appease others. That's what I used to do, try to people please and try to make everyone happy. Now, all I do is please me. It's so bad, so good. See how I fix
Yeah,
that? Negative comes to
yeah,
positive. So it's so
absolutely,
good
absolutely.
that if
You know,
I
we,
buy you a gift for a holiday, I buy myself the exact same thing. So that way we both got it.
I love it. I love it. You know, we could talk about this forever and a day. There's so many other things I could say about that. But here's the one thing that I want to say to you is that thank God you found your peace of mind. And thank God you don't look like what you've been through.
Thank God.
Because Tiffany, the things you've been through, they could have took lesser minded people completely out.
Yeah.
But God knew He gave you a strong mind. He just needed to give you the resources where you could tap into it and give you the mindset of wanting to be more than what you had been going through. And you know, it takes a millionaire mindset to put themselves first and not feel like you're being selfish. It's okay to be selfless sometimes. And the problem is sometimes we do less of self, and then we end up having all those problems that we have. So sometimes you have to take time and make time to be selfish. Buy those jeans, girl. Buy two pair if you want to. You know
I
what?
got
And
8
a
pairs
third pair
now.
for Sunday.
I have 8 pairs now.
Ah, sookie sookie now. Okay. Next time I see you, I'm going to have to check them out. So I thank you for spending some time with us here. And I know there's going to be someone else who's going to want to, hear more about your story and hear more about what you're doing with all of your entrepreneurial investments that you have going on. So how can they get in contact with Tiffany, aka Millionaire T?
So you can reach me at millionairet.com and on all social media platforms at millionaire T.
I love it. I love it. You guys go ahead and support this millionaire. Go on over to millionairet.com and check her out on all the social media. She's spilling the tea on how you too can be a millionaire and you can be a part of her circle where she's giving information, she's giving strategies, tools, tips, and everything you need to become your own millionaire T. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for sharing your time with us here on the 21 Days of Gratitude. I hope you have a happy holiday season and come back to the show sometime soon, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on here, and I'm grateful for that. Good night,
Absolutely.
everyone.
I'm grateful to you guys as well. And to you guys who are watching us, whether you're watching us live or whether you're watching us on replay, thank you so much for sharing the 21 days of gratitude on the Unstoppable Story Show. Now, hey, if you want to be a guest on the show, just like Tiffany, then send me a paragraph of what you're grateful for today. You can send that to tleffridge at unstoppablecoaching.com. And who knows, before the end of these 21 days, maybe you'll be the next guest on the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. And hey, by the way, if you need someone for your next event, come on out and reach out. Get the TLE for your next event, the Terrence Leffridge Experience, where we'll move you to be the best version of yourself. Reach out for a discovery call at terrenceleffridge.com/discovery call 30, and we'll get you to the next level of your greatness. And wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day, but continue to be grateful and have an attitude of gratitude and make it an unstoppable day. Take care, family.
Bye.